All right, ladies and gentlemen, gather round, because today, we are diving headfirst into the world of Kira Kosarin. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, isn't that the girl with superpowers in that show? What's it called? Something Thunder? Well, bingo. You're right. But trust me, there's a whole lot more to this gal than flying and fighting bad guys. Buckle up. From fighting crime to writing music, and still manages to look like she walked off a red carpet. I mean, who knew that saving the world could look this glamorous? Kira Kosarin is one of those rare Hollywood unicorns. She's funny, she's talented, and her Instagram bio? Straight to the point. No weird sunflower child sunflower crescent moon type nonsense. Kira knows exactly who she is. She's here to kick butt, crack jokes, and sing songs that will get stuck in your head for days. And believe me, after this video, you're going to be humming her tunes at 3 a.m. wondering where your life went wrong. Let's rewind for a second, because every superhero needs an origin story, right? Kira started out like most kids, except instead of messing around on TikTok, she was training to be a star. She grew up in Boca Raton, Florida. Yes, the same place your grandma retired to. And by age 14, she had already packed her bags for Hollywood. I know most teenagers are just figuring out how to parallel park, but not Kira. Oh no, she was busy planning world domination, or at least Nickelodeon domination. So here she is, this bright-eyed kid in the big city. And bam, she lands the role of Phoebe Thunderman. You know Phoebe, the classic overachiever with a side of my brother's driving me nuts. If you think being a superhero is tough, try doing it while dealing with a bratty twin brother who has a soft spot for evil. Spoiler alert, they never really grow out of sibling rivalry. But hey, that's what makes the show gold, right? If you've never seen the Thundermans, imagine Harry Potter and the Incredibles had a baby, and that baby decided to go to high school. Phoebe Thunderman, the role that made Kira a household name, is basically a teenager with superpowers and zero time to deal with her twin brother's nonsense. I mean, let's face it, dealing with high school drama is tough. But dealing with high school drama while also keeping your laser vision under control, that's a whole new level of stress. And don't even get me started on how Kira nailed those awkward teenage moments. 1 second, she's trying to save the world. The next, she's worried about whether her crush thinks she's cool. Priorities. And can we just appreciate how Kira manages to look effortlessly cool while wearing those ridiculous superhero suits? Honestly, I'd probably trip over my own cape within 5 minutes. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so she's funny. Big deal. Oh no, my friend. Kira isn't just funny. She's hilarious. You ever scroll through her TikTok? She's got more jokes than a late-night talk show host on Coffee. From goofy dances to lip syncs gone wrong, she knows how to keep things real. And trust me, her self-deprecating humor? Chef's kiss. It's like, she's gorgeous, talented, and she doesn't take herself too seriously? That's not fair to the rest of us. Seriously, I've seen A-list celebrities spend millions on publicists trying to look relatable. Meanwhile, Kira's just out here posting random videos of herself in pajamas, and fans are like, yep, that's my queen. It's a beautiful thing. Wait, we're not done yet. Because as if dominating TV wasn't enough, Kira decided to add pop star to her resume. She dropped her own singles, and let me tell you, they slap. Her song Spy? Pure ear candy. It's one of those songs that makes you feel like you should be strutting through the grocery store in slow motion. And don't be surprised if you see Kira's music videos all over your recommended list after this. Honestly, I've fallen down that YouTube rabbit hole more times than I can count. 1 second, you're watching a 2-minute music video. The next, it's 2 a.m. and you're Googling how to play Spy on ukulele. Trust me, it's a slippery slope. So, now that we've established that Kira Kosarin is not only a top-tier actress and singer, but also a living, breathing meme machine, it's time to take a closer look at her most iconic moments. From superhero hijinks to viral songs, we've got it all. Whether you're a die-hard fan or you've just stumbled onto this video by accident, one thing's for sure, you won't regret spending the next 30 minutes with us. All right, grab some popcorn, get comfy, and let's dive into the wonderful, weird, and totally awesome world of Kira Kosarin.
Afraid of dark thoughts, of the cold and bitter heat, of the world's secret plots.
Alright, let's talk about the Thundermans. Because honestly, what's better than a family full of superheroes living in suburbia? I mean, who doesn't love a bit of chaos where your biggest problem isn't just doing your homework? It's making sure your lair stays hidden from the neighbors. At the heart of this madness, we've got Phoebe Thunderman, played by Kira Kosarin, a girl who's trying to be a normal teenager, with super strength, heat vision, and parents who can bench press a car. No biggie, just your average girl next door. Except the door probably has a secret force field. So, let me break it down. Phoebe is that overachiever who does everything right. Top of her class, always on time, never misses a study session. Oh, and did I mention she saves the world on weekends? Meanwhile, her twin brother Max, played by Jack Griffo, is busy trying to be the next Darth Vader, but with a man bun. You know that sibling who's always making questionable life choices? That's Max, except with gadgets and mild villain ambitions. Honestly, Phoebe and Max's relationship is what makes this show gold. 1 minute, they're teaming up to save the day. The next, they're arguing over who left the secret passage door open. Classic sibling rivalry, but with laser eyes. Phoebe is the definition of, I have too much on my plate. Like 1 second she's trying to stop a meteor from hitting Earth, and the next, she's stressed out about failing her chemistry test. Hey, it's not easy being a superhero and a straight-A student. And let's be honest, Phoebe is that friend who reminds the teacher, you forgot to collect the homework. You know the type. And can we talk about those superhero costumes? Phoebe's out here saving lives in an outfit that looks like it came straight from a cosplay convention. I mean, if I had to fly through the sky in spandex, I'd need a therapist on speed dial. But nope, Phoebe handles it all with a smile. Impressive. Now Max. Oh, Max. This guy is basically what would happen if Loki worked at Hot Topic. He's got the whole evil mastermind thing going, except his plans usually fall apart faster than my New Year's resolutions. But you gotta love the guy. Every episode, he's convinced this is finally the day he becomes a full-blown villain, only to end up saving the day by accident. Oops. And let's not forget the real question here. Why does Max have a pet bunny named Dr. Colosso? Like, of all the animals you could pick for an evil sidekick, a bunny? Imagine trying to strike fear into the hearts of your enemies while holding a fluffy rabbit. Terrifying. Now, what really makes the Thundermans shine is the family dynamic. Imagine sitting down for pizza night, but your dad can lift the table with 1 finger. All right, we've seen the fun side of Kira, but what happens when she ditches the cape and gets spooky? Stay tuned, because things are about to get dark. Really dark. So, Kira Kosarin's gone from laser-shooting superhero to spooky curse survivor? That's right, folks. Welcome to Light as a Feather, where the stakes are higher, the lighting is darker, and nobody is safe from bad omens or teenage drama. If the Thundermans was your lighthearted family dinner, Light as a Feather is more like that sleepover where somebody pulls out a Ouija board and things get weird. Because nothing says bad decisions quite like a group of teenagers playing a cursed game at night. Look, I'm no expert, but when your sleepover activity involves predicting each other's death, maybe it's time to stick with Monopoly. Alright, here's the rundown. A group of teenagers, who all look way too fashionable to be in high school, by the way, decide to play a harmless little game called Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board. For fun. Just your typical, let's see who can summon the most bad luck before midnight kind of game. And, surprise, surprise, things get really creepy really fast. Each time they play the game, the person who's cursed ends up dying exactly how the game predicted. Yep, it's basically Final Destination, but with extra eyeliner. And just like every supernatural horror story, these kids don't make the smartest decisions. I mean, if a game tells me I'm gonna kick the bucket in 2 days, the last thing I'm doing is sticking around for round 2. But hey, these kids, they're in it to win it, whatever winning means in a game where everyone dies. This time, Kira Kosarin takes on a very different role. Gone are the bright capes and cheesy one-liners. Instead, she's rocking the moody, mysterious teenager with trust issues vibe. Think Phoebe Thunderman after she binge-watches too much Stranger Things. Kira's performance in Light as a Feather is a total 180 from her bubbly, heroic days. She's brooding, she's serious, and she always looks like she's carrying way too many secrets. If you thought juggling high school with superpowers was hard, try doing it while dodging supernatural curses. Now that is multitasking. But let's be honest here. Light as a Feather isn't just about curses and creepy feathers. It's about all that deliciously awkward teenage drama, just with a side of paranormal danger. Imagine dealing with the usual high school stuff, like who's dating who and why Becky didn't text back. Except now there's also the small matter of, avoiding death. You thought high school was tough? Try doing it with a death prophecy hanging over your head. And let's talk about the characters for a second, because we've got all the essentials. There's the mysterious new girl who knows way too much about ancient curses, the jock with a heart of gold, and the friend who's definitely hiding something but won't admit it until episode 7. Oh, and of course, Kira's character, who's just trying to survive all of this without losing her mind. Now, let's get into the real question. Why feathers? I mean, seriously, out of all the spooky objects you could curse, you pick a feather? What's next? A haunted pillow. But somehow, this show makes it work. Every time a feather shows up, you know things are about to go from mildly unsettling to completely terrifying. And you know how in most horror shows, the characters just make the worst decisions? Well, these kids are no different. Instead of, calling a priest or deleting the group chat, they just keep playing the game. It's like, oh look, another mysterious death. Guess we should play another round. Because nothing says good idea like tempting fate twice. But jokes aside, Kira really shines in this show. This isn't the same Phoebe Thunderman cracking jokes and zapping things. Kira's character in Light as a Feather is raw, intense, and a little haunted. Kind of like how we all feel after scrolling through TikTok at 3 a.m. She proves that she's more than just a sitcom star. She's got some serious acting chops. Whether she's dodging supernatural disasters or dealing with emotional breakdowns, Kira brings a level of depth to the role that keeps you hooked. And honestly, I didn't know she could look that good while running from a curse. If it were me, I'd be screaming in sweatpants. Light as a Feather is the kind of show that sucks you in and makes you forget about everything else. You start watching it for the supernatural thrills, but you stay for the messy friendships, unexpected twists, and, let's be honest, the chance to see if anyone survives until graduation. Spoiler, don't get too attached to anyone. It's creepy, it's dramatic, and it's oddly addictive. You'll tell yourself, just one more episode. And suddenly it's 4 a.m. and you're Googling how to break a feather curse. Not that I'd know anything about that. At the end of the day, Light as a Feather gives us the best of both worlds. Thrills, chills, and a sprinkle of teenage chaos. It's like the Thundermans grew up, went goth, and decided to throw in some life or death stakes for fun. And if you're a fan of Kira Kosarin, this show is a must-watch. Just maybe don't play any creepy games afterward, just in case. Alright, folks, we've seen Kira Kosarin save the world with superpowers, dodge supernatural curses, and survive teenage drama. But now, she's stepping into uncharted territory. That's right, Kira Kosarin, the musician. Turns out, if being a superhero and a curse survivor wasn't enough, she's also here to serenade us all with catchy tunes. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if she also knew how to bake 5-tier wedding cakes or fix a broken Wi-Fi router. So, how exactly do you go from battling evil twins and haunted feathers to writing soulful pop songs? Well, in Kira's case, it feels almost natural. It's like she thought, what's one more talent to add to the collection? And just like that, she swapped the superhero cape for a microphone, and bam, we've got a rising pop star on our hands. And let's talk about her music for a second. If you were expecting bubblegum pop, sorry to disappoint. Kira's music isn't just catchy, it's vibey. We're talking about soulful vocals, acoustic guitars, and lyrics that hit you right in the feelings. Her sound is somewhere between Late Night Drive playlist and oops, I accidentally texted my ex vibes. She's not just singing, she's feeling. Now, transitioning from acting to music isn't always smooth. For every Zendaya or Selena Gomez, there's, well, we'll just say a few misfires. But Kira, she's actually pulling it off. No gimmicks, no cheesy autotune, just real talent. You know those annoying people who are good at everything? Yeah, she's one of them. It's like she wakes up every morning and decides, you know what? I think I'll just conquer another industry today. Must be nice. And she's not just a singer. She writes her own songs too. That's right. Singer, songwriter, actor, curse fighter. At this point, if she starts rapping, the music industry better prepare for an avalanche of talent. Meanwhile, the rest of us are struggling just to remember our passwords. Let's dive into some of Kira's tracks, shall we? Songs like Love Me Like You Hate Me and Take This Outside show off her emotional range. And let's be honest, a little bit of sass. These aren't your typical rainbows and butterflies love songs. No. These are the kind of songs you put on when you're angry texting someone, then delete the text 5 minutes later and pretend it never happened. Her lyrics are deep but relatable. Like, did she just steal a line from my therapy session? Kind of relatable. And the melodies? Total earworms. You'll listen to one track, and next thing you know, you're singing it in the shower, in the car, and yes, during Zoom meetings. It's that kind of catchy. And don't even get me started on her live performances. Kira on stage, she's in her element. It's like she's been a pop star her entire life. Because honestly, what can't she do? Whether she's rocking out with a guitar or slowing things down with a ballad, she knows how to keep the crowd engaged. And you know what? Watching her perform live, you can't help but think, this girl was born to do this. It's as if all those years of playing Phoebe Thunderman gave her the confidence to handle any stage, whether it's in front of a studio audience or a packed concert hall. If there's one thing we've learned, it's that Kira Kosarin is always in control. So what's next for Kira's music career? An album? A world tour? A Grammy, maybe? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she wins an award by the time you finish watching this video. And the best part? She's just getting started. Whether she's acting, singing, or who knows, maybe starting a podcast next week. One thing's for sure, Kira Kosarin knows how to keep us entertained. So if you haven't checked out her music yet, what are you waiting for? Just make sure you're ready for the feels, because Kira's songs will hit you harder than a plot twist in a horror show. Trust me, you'll need tissues and a playlist full of emotional bangers. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some Kira Kosarin tracks to binge. See you at the concert. Alright folks, so what's next for Kira Kosarin? I mean, she's already conquered TV, dabbled in horror, dropped some catchy tunes. At this point, she's basically a human Swiss Army knife. You need an actor? She's got it. A musician? Done. Honestly, if someone told me she was training to become an astronaut, I wouldn't even be surprised. Kira seems like the type who's not just aiming for the stars. She's building a rocket and flying there herself. Movies, music, TV, nothing seems off limits. Maybe she'll headline her own movie franchise next. You know, like a rom-com where she plays a secret spy who also sings in a jazz club at night. I'd watch that twice. Or who knows? Maybe she's secretly planning to become a TikTok superstar. Imagine her dropping a 10-second viral dance video that racks up 10 million views overnight. Kira could make dancing with an imaginary feather the next global trend. Mark my words. Let's be real, her music career is only getting started. I bet she's got new songs ready to drop at any moment. Albums, music videos, maybe even a surprise collab with some big-name artists like, I don't know, Post Malone or Billie Eilish. If that happens, please act like I predicted it first. Maybe she'll even take her talents on a world tour. Picture it. Kira Kosarin live in concert. Tickets sell out in 2 minutes, and suddenly you're paying $500 for nosebleed seats just to hear one encore. But it'll be worth it because when Kira performs, she leaves it all on the stage. Plus, there's always a chance she pulls out a Thunderman's joke in the middle of the set. Here's a song I wrote between superhero missions. But music isn't the only thing we're betting on. I wouldn't be shocked if Kira started popping up in big Hollywood films. Imagine her in a Marvel movie. Kira Kosarin as Captain Fantastic, saving the world with both superpowers and catchy music. Or maybe she'll star in an artsy indie film about a girl who communicates only through guitar solos. Either way, you know she's going to crush it. And let's not forget the streaming platforms. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+. They're probably all scrambling to sign her up for the next big series. A period drama, a futuristic sci-fi, or a comedy about a pop star turned detective. Whatever it is, Kira will nail it. She always does. You know what would really blow everyone's minds? If Kira decides to take over behind the scenes. What if she becomes a director, a writer, Maybe even starts her own production company? I can totally see her doing a multi-talented mic drop and producing a hit TV show she stars in, writes, and scores herself. The credits will just say, produced by Kira Kosarin. Everything else, also Kira Kosarin. At the end of the day, one thing's for sure, Kira Kosarin isn't slowing down anytime soon. Whether it's more TV, more music, or something we haven't even imagined yet, she's gonna keep surprising us, and we're here for it. Her future is like one of her songs. Upbeat, exciting, and with a chorus you can't get out of your head. So whether she's singing on stage, acting on screen, or inventing new ways to entertain us, one thing is clear. Kira Kosarin is a force to be reckoned with, and she's just getting started. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go set a reminder for her next album release, or movie premiere, or world tour announcement, or whatever Kira Kosarin decides to conquer next, because you know it's going to be awesome.